Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Mike. Today I'm going to be starting something new. I'm creating a dog profile series and I'm going to be starting with my own dogs. In this series, I'm going to take a highlighted dog. I'm going to create a kind of tail of the tape for that dog where I discuss their attributes, their characteristics, and whatnot. I will not stop with my own dogs. I do hope to add other dogs to this series as well. The first featured dog is going to be none other than the big man himself, Kenjo. Kenjo's breed is that of the American Akita line. He is a male, and his date of birth is March 23rd of 2020, putting him at about 4.5 years old at the time of this recording. Measuring at the withers, Kinjo stands at approximately 27 inches tall or 68 centimeters. When it comes to weight, Kinjo is a slim and fit 116 pounds or 52.5 kilograms. If you were wondering where I got the name Kinjo, I got it from a 90s Christopher Lambert movie called The Hunted. In the movie, Kenjo is the leader of a secret ninja assassination gang, and he was the most deadly swordsman in the country. Being that the American Akita did originally come from Japan, I felt that would be a good name for my dog. When it comes to his personality, Kenjo is a very interesting character. He and I have bonded closely. We are best buds, but he doesn't really care for other people too much. He doesn't let very many people into his life. When he does, he's very friendly with them, but to other people, he's very aloof and sometimes will even growl at them if he doesn't want them to approach him. Some people may accuse him of being a mean dog, but he's not really a mean dog. First of all, he's very loving towards me, but to strangers, I would say he's not very friendly. And it's not that he's just being mean to them, he just doesn't know them, he doesn't trust them, and his trust is earned slowly. Therefore, strangers won't get to see the real Kenjo. They'll get to see the standoffish version of him, but they won't get to see the playful side that the family gets to see. When he's around the family, he's much more relaxed, and he opens up to show his real personality. When he's around other dogs, he's very hit or miss. He can accept other dogs, but they usually have to be submissive to him, or at least very calm and unthreatening. If they're in any way confident or bold when they approach him, it's an absolute no-go. He will take that to a fight if he needs to establish himself as the alpha. Despite his typical attitude around dogs, he actually has developed some dog friends. He's friends with my mom's Akita Mochi, who I'll be doing a profile on, and he is friends with my neighbor's German Shorthair Pointer named Gus. Gus is very playful and non-threatening, so Kinjo has accepted him pretty easily. I can't really say how he is around cats because he's never really been around any. I will say that his prey drive isn't nearly as bad as my female's prey drive, so I think that we could probably make that work if we had to, but he has no experience with cats or other small animals. Kinjo is very territorial, however, and he does alert us if there's any strange activity on the property, be it a human, a dog, or anything else. If he hears an unusual sound, he's going to rush to investigate. He actually barks a lot for an Akita, so he will alert us, but he's always there to confront any strange activity and guard his property. The main reason I got the American Akita breed is because I wanted a dog I could trust to protect the home, and with Kinjo, I certainly feel protected. I have a video on my channel where he demonstrates how he reacts to a strange person outside the house, and you can see that video if you'd like. But with Kinjo in the home, I feel protected at night. I feel protected when I'm sleeping. If there's any strange person that approaches or is up to no good, I feel comfortable that this dog will do his job. Now, when it comes to obedience, the American Akita dog is notoriously independent and hard to train. They don't tend to listen very well, but when it comes to Kinjo, I would actually say for the breed standard, he's actually pretty good. Now, I worked a lot with him on his obedience, but just naturally, he was a lot easier than his sister was. So I would say that his obedience is actually pretty high for an Akita, but I would not rank it near a dog that's much more naturally obedient like the Doberman or the German Shepherd, a dog that wants to please you. He doesn't really want to please me the way he behaves, but he does listen when I give him a command. That describes his obedience when he's right next to me. However, if he's far off doing his own thing, his obedience level drops considerably, which is actually pretty typical for his breed or an independent dog like the Akita. But I've noticed it with him as well. Despite the fact that he listens pretty well when he's with me, if he's off doing his own thing, it's much, much harder for me to get him to obey. He does still do okay for the breed. I would say he actually does above average for the American Akita breed, but that is, I would say, a weak point in his obedience. All right, next up is energy level, which with Kinjo I would describe as being very low. He seems to be a very low energy dog. He's very serious. He's very stoic. He's very chill. He lays around most of the day, but he does have bursts of excitement when something happens that he's really interested in, such as walks. Man, when I grab that leash or I say walk, or even if I go to the front door and open it, he jumps up and he is ready to go, and you can see the joy in his face. He loves his walks, but beyond the walks, he really doesn't do much. Even when his sister tries to play with him, he doesn't really have much playback in him. He's really just, like I said, stoic and chill. But it does make for an easy dog. Now, when it comes to health, like I mentioned, he's a very fit dog and very in shape and very happy. But there has been one thing that was a concern, and that was his leg, his back left leg. I did get his hip x-rayed, and the vet said that there was nothing that indicated any hip dysplasia, but there was some concerns about the way his left leg fit to his hip. The way the bone is shaped, it was a little bit unusual, a little bit bumpy, and so that has caused him some discomfort. So the solution was to basically keep him on glucosamine on a daily basis, which I have done, and it seems to help him quite a bit. One thing that's interesting about Kinjo, and this may be true of most large breed dogs, but it's their presence, like the power he brings when he walks around. It's like an aura. When he enters a room, it interrupts what you're doing. You can't help but notice this big giant dog walked in, being all confident, and it stops what you're doing, and you can't help but take notice. That may be true of a lot of dogs, but I've never really felt that. But when it comes to him, it's definitely different. And it could be his confidence. It could be the intelligence you see behind his eyes. It could be just the way he relates to people. But it's very commanding. It's very commanding presence. Getting close to the end, the next thing I wanted to talk about is the loyalty and bond of this dog. Now, the loyalty and bond that the Akita makes as a breed is legendary, and he is certainly an example of that. He is extremely attached to me, not really so much anyone else. He has other people he accepts pretty well, but even that number is few. But when it comes to me, we have a bond that's unlike anything I've ever felt with another dog before. Extremely loyal, extremely loving, extremely attentive, and he just has to be by me at all times. Now, he's not much of a cuddler. He's not much as showing affection. His way of showing affection is to keep an eye on me, is to be in the same room as me, to sleep at the foot of my bed. That's the type of things he does to show his affection. But beyond that, he's not really an affectionate dog. But he is extremely attached and very loyal. All right, and to wrap things up, I want to do something a little bit fun with this dog series profile, and that is to find a human whose personality closely matches that of the dog being displayed. And for Kenjo, that was pretty easy. Kenjo is definitely Walt Kowalski from Gran Torino. The reason I chose Walt is that Kenjo is often described by me as a grumpy old man. But once he accepts you as part of his family, he will protect you and he will go to war for you. He may not always be pleasant to be around, but if you ever feel threatened, you're going to be glad that that grumpy old man is with you and he's turning his displeasure on those that are threatening you. He may not have very many friends or even very many people who like him, but once he accepts you as part of his family, he's going to do his job and he's going to keep you safe. So when you have a dog like Kenjo, you're probably not going to be the most popular person around. You may not get invited to too many parties given how grumpy and standoffish he can be, but you're probably going to be the safest. And if anyone messes with you, they're going to regret it. And that is why in this series, when choosing which human's personality most matches the dog's, for Kenjo, I have chosen Walt Kowalski. Kenjo is Walt Kowalski. Walt is the human representation of Kenjo. And that's it. That wraps up my first entry into the dog profile series on my channel. I hope you enjoyed it, and for the next entry into this dog series, I will be covering Yuki, my female Akita. If you like this, please hit like and subscribe to this channel. And remember to check that notification bell so you are made aware of when new videos drop. Thank you for stopping by, and I'm looking forward to making more content for you all. Thanks again. Take care.